Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Unfortunately, the news today is not good as we had another shore excursion accident back in Belize. So last Friday I reported out that on a Carnival cruise ship, the people were on a private shore excursion when they were involved in a multiple motor vehicle accident involving their van. Two passengers from the Carnival Vista passed away. Another one from an MSC cruise ship was injured, and three other residences of Belize also passed away in that accident. It was a horrific accident. And so you would hope that, well, let's not hear any of these stories anymore. And then the very next day, on a Royal Caribbean shore excursion, a family was traveling in a vehicle they were traveling 7 people from the same family when they were involved in an accident. The vehicle rolled several times and a woman in her 70s was thrown from the vehicle through the windshield. She did not have her seatbelt on and unfortunately passed away from her injuries. The other family members, while receiving injuries, nothing so far has been reported as being life-threatening for them. So thankfully this could have been a lot worse than it was if you saw the vehicle. And it just goes to show, again, the driver himself, after being, sought by police and interviewed by police, says that the van rolled over because of a tire blowout. The police, I don't think that that's the whole story, because they've served him notice of intent to lay charges. So in other words, he's not allowed to leave the jurisdiction, he's not allowed to go anywhere, and they are investigating further, drawing more evidence. But I think they believe that this was careless driving or reckless driving involved. And so we'll have to wait and see what happens. In the meantime, that's no consolation to the family who's lost a family member on this trip. But as I said, it could have been much worse. Now, one thing I do want to say on this topic: when you're on shore excursions, don't be afraid to say something. We don't know the whole situation on this story, but there are other stories out there where people were involved in accidents because the shore excursion person they were driving with, or the taxi they were driving with, was driving recklessly, in a hurry to make more money and zipping in and out of traffic. Or, for instance, people going on a zip line and they weren't operating the zip line properly. They were sending guests down without checking to see if the guests they sent in front had already made it down or if they got jammed up along the way. And we actually had a newlywed couple last year where the husband passed away because he ran into his wife who got stuck on the zip line. They weren't checking to see if the zip line was clear. So I just have to say, a lot of people don't like to make fuss, don't like to, cause a rumble, like interfere with anything. But if you honestly feel that something is not being operated safely, or a driver is driving erratically or too big a hurry, don't be afraid to say, hey, slow down. First of all, if it's a shore excursion especially that's going around and you tell the driver to slow down, they will usually immediately slow down because they don't want you reporting them to their bosses and supervisors. So don't be afraid to say that. If it's like a zip line and you're seeing that they're not paying close enough attention, they're not checking the lines properly, it's your life. Don't be afraid to say anything or just walk away if you have to. Too many people will let things slide thinking that people know exactly what they're doing, or it's just normal, it's a taxi driver, or this is how they drive here. But it's your life, it's your family, you're putting yourself at risk. I have said many times on some trips, if I did not like the way somebody was driving, I warned them to slow down, or they would be reported. And they did. They slowed down. I yet to have had somebody argue with me. They might not have liked it, but I'd rather arrive alive and make an enemy in a driver than have them foolishly do a mistake that costs somebody around me or myself my life or injuries. So it's one of those warnings I just thought I should bring out, because we're all so quiet and we're in a happy mood when we're on vacation, especially a cruise, because it's so relaxing and you get to see all these different places. Don't take it for granted that the way the person's driving or what they're operating, they know what they're doing. Keep an eye out. Make sure it looks like they know what they're doing at least. You might not know the entire procedures, but if you see a person talking to his friend, blah, 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 okay, go, on a zip line, talking to his friends more, okay, go, and he's not on a walkie-talkie, checking the other end to make sure everything's okay, if he's not tugging at those reins to make sure you're secured, then they're not doing their job properly and they're putting you at risk. So please, please don't be afraid to speak up or even just get out of the vehicle if you feel unsafe and go back to the cruise ship another way. There's lots of taxis around, there's lots of vehicles around, and if you think that driver's unsafe, get out. That's all I can really say as a warning. Again, my heart deep, total condolences to this family. It's just a needless accident. Probably should never have happened. A sad story. Just wanted to bring it out as a warning and send my condolences to fellow cruisers and the family involved. I hope you appreciate the update and the information. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. You want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world, and hopefully much better stories and much happier news, hit that subscribe button. Till next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.